I have a simple job planned for this evening. Break into a guarded mansion, steal another fat nobleman's priceless trinket, and leave quietly. Lord Bafford is out of town, and rumor has it that the captain of his house guard went with him as a bodyguard. The time is ripe for a bit of burglary. The front gate of Lord Bafford's manor is always guarded, and the main street is far too exposed. But Cuddy tells me there's a better way in, around to the side, more out of the way. One guard, and likely no witnesses to complicate matters. The piece Cuddy wants is a scepter. Silver, jewels, the usual adornments. It should command a high price. Bafford, like most of his kind, probably keeps his treasures on the top floor of the place, close to his heart, and far from his servants. No point in waiting. I have Cuddy's old sketches of the place, and everyone who's going to be asleep inside already is. It's time to begin.
Hello, this is Fletcher Fox, and welcome back to Let's Play Thief Gold. This is the first real mission. In the last episode I did the tutorial. This is Lord Bafford's Manor, and man, I love those cutscenes. Anyway, what are the objectives? Sneak into Lord Bafford's Manor and case the place. The well house in back is your best bet if you can get the key from the guard. Blackjacking or pickpocketing him would be the quietest. Find Lord Bafford's prized jeweled scepter and redistribute it to yourself. Try to do it without causing too much commotion. Okay, so pretty simple, in and out kind of job. So this is the shop. Let's see. I'm gonna need these. Just on the face of it, you know, just reading the title, water arrow, doesn't seem like a very helpful thing. This is the single best item in the game. You need as many as you can. Healing potions in case things go bad, except I can't afford them, so just water arrows. And I'm not even going to waste my money on broadheads, I never use them. So, let's begin. Okay, first things first, let's listen to these guards, because the guard conversations in this game are the best.
Hey, I'm going to the bear pits tomorrow. You want to come with? Couldn't pay me enough. What? You soft belly. The bears have got these new muzzles with underslung cheek spikes. Last time I was there was a real eye gouge. Nah. It makes me sick. When I was a kid. Huh. Surprised you're even in this job.
Ooh, the blood, it just turns my poor tummy.
Shut up, you taffer. You want blood? You should have been there years ago. Tell you, the bears then, they were something to see. Those bears, they didn't need no cheek spikes and razor collars and paw hooks and all that knifery you straps to them now.
No paw hooks? What'd they do? Just bump into each other?
Huh? Nah. The bears back then, they had claws as long as your finger and wicked teeth.
Bears? You're toughin' me. They look pretty mangy harmless, long as they're not wearing harness.
That's why I can't stand the pits now. You don't know what you missed. They just don't make bears like they used to.
Whoa! Killer bears! Would've liked to see that.
I love the guard conversations in this game. I apologize, but every time there is one, I'm just going to stop and listen.
A few too many to try to get by here.
Yeah. If I could fight them, that switch over there, it's really hard to see, but there's a switch behind that lamppost that opens the front gate. But I'm not going to bother with that because there's a better way in. Like, an amazingly, like, much, much better way in. Better not show up armed. You know what? Let me get super sneaky. Oop. I mean, not fall to my death in the sewers. That would not be fun. That just would not be fun. That's not a way I would want to die. I don't want to fall to my death into the sewers. So, interesting thing to note here, originally there was supposed to be a sort of little eel-like, rat-like creature that inhabited the sewers called a sweel. Or at least that's all fans could glean of the name from, like, a concept sketch. But they never made it into the game. They're programmed, but they were never modeled and they were never implemented. So the reason I came down here, because of this. I need this. Good old gold. Already 100 gold, 100 gems. So just open this up. Door. Open the door. Stop having it be closed. So there was this this gate here that I just opened. And where it takes me is right up here. Now the guard is very drunk. But there's another guard that kind of patrols around here, walks straight up to this guy. Probably because he's like, Benny's drunk again. Not gonna bother trying to deal with this. I just better make sure I patrol around here because Benny's drunk and useless. Oh, shit.
Hey there, friend. What's with the crazy getup?
Just ignore me. I was honestly hoping he would notice me though, because I love that. Like, there's a guy who just cannot hold his liquor. Yoink.
Could you possibly be any more?
Just gonna casually, and I'm gonna drop it. See, part of me wants to leave it, but there's really no point. It's better to have it on me, even though I'm never coming back here. But at the same time, it's a key I don't need, inventory space that I don't need. But then again, when have I ever dropped keys in this game? I've played this game a dozen times and never really dropped keys unless it was to mock the guards. But anyway, now I'm in the clean water system. This is where everyone's drinking water comes from. So, whoops. Might be, contaminating it a little. But, anyway. A lot of people who have never played this game before miss this. It's a little tunnel. Goes into this room here, which is full of spiders. Well, 2 spiders. I could try to sneak past, but that would take years. So instead, I'm just going to do this.
Since I'm in here, I might as well pick up something for myself.
If they were to follow me in, they would drown. But they're usually not dumb enough to follow me in. I should probably get out of the water before I drown. That's where I was going with that whole, when you're a teenager, you're immortal thing. What I was going to say was, since Garrett was, since it's just the tutorial level, Garrett was immortal. He couldn't take damage, he couldn't drown, he didn't have any limit in terms of air. But in the game, in the main game, no such luck. He has very limited health that goes very quickly, and very limited air, which also goes very quickly. Now, this is the way into Lord Bafford's Manor. As you'll notice, there's this giant cave here that I can almost guarantee is not supposed to be in the city's clean water system. Just a gaping hole letting people access the drinking water. My theory is that he's using this canal to run a smuggling operation. Because most of the nobles in these games are very much tied to the city's criminal underground. So I would not be surprised if this was sort of an area where he runs sort of an underground smuggling operation. And that's why it's open to the canal. But anyway.
Inside at last.
I've been thinking. The Sir could really beef up security some.
What do you mean? What's wrong with us?
Well, we're fine. But I've been thinking we should watch the outsides more.
That's stupid. People to worry about there on the inside.
No, then you catch them before they get inside, you taffer.
Oh!
Those two guards are in practically every mission in the game. And they are hilarious. Nice. Spare healing potion. Thinking I'm gonna want to stay on the moss. Kind of hide him in a shady spot. Let me go around the other way. I want to knock out this guard. Just make things easier. Also, this little room is interesting. Might come back here later. See if I can find this room. Pretty sure it's inaccessible from here, but I think I know how to get in. What was that? That's weird. Okay, yeah, that was strange. Hoping we don't have any more interruptions of that nature. We good? Okay. I apologize for that. My laptop was just doing something. I don't know what or why. So there really wasn't anything back there. I just wanted to knock out that guard just to spite him. Like, yeah, your patrol path is stupid. So predictable and easy. But then again, this is the first real mission. It's not going to throw anything really hard at you. Later in the game, good God, does it ever start throwing really hard patrol paths at you. these stairs. Don't need that. Okay, so I believe we're in the servants' quarters. I think I'm gonna leave these servants. Cramp. Cramp. Why is it that I always get cramps while I'm playing video games? I mean, usually they're very tense situations in video games. I panicked. I accidentally hit the lamp and startled him. Oh god, that was close. So, I always found these particular servants a little interesting because the texture used for their faces is a photo of the face of, I think he's like the lead writer on this game. And I'm going to try and pronounce his last name. It's not like a difficult last name, but it's one I have heard pronounced every which way. I pronounce it Ken Levine, but I have heard it pronounced Levine. I've heard it pronounced Levin. I've heard it pronounced Levine. I don't know. But he was like the lead writer on this game, and notably went on to be the creative lead on BioShock. So, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm still unsure as to how to pronounce that name. Mainly because I've heard it pronounced so many ways, it's just confusing now. So, anyway. Blah, blah, blah. Cedric, please speak to the cook about last night's dinner. Well, technically the menu conformed to my instructions. I suspect that the lamb was somewhat older than this spring's, and I am in no way fooled by his practice of warming the salad to disguise wilting. If the cook is incapable of finding adequate... Yes, this is Lord Bafford's voice now. If the cook is incapable of finding adequate ingredients, he can be replaced. And if he offers those same excuses about the stone market shortages, please remind him that the grocery budget is a good 50% above last year's figures, and even he should be able to procure adequate victuals at those prices. That's the voice I decided on for Lord Bafford. It's probably going to change like 50 times by the end of the episode. So what else is there to do? Well, there are several places I could go from here. It's kind of like a servant's dining area. Where's the main dining area in here again? I don't know. You know what? I shouldn't go out this way. I have a better idea. Having played this game a lot, it's not going to be as interesting, I would think, as... I don't think I heard anyone. But it's not going to be as interesting as if I were to go through having never played it before. But I still think it'll be pretty interesting. So this is the best way into the main portion of the manor. Because good old drunk guards. And there's no one else patrolling this area. Drunk guards will still try to apprehend you. They're just really bad at it. But it's still best to knock them out before they can spot you. I am hidden. Reasonably, no one could reasonably hide in this little alcove. Unless they were hiding from someone coming the other way, but I'm not. That's one of the great things about this game, the ridiculousness of the hiding spots. Also, remember what I said about water arrows being, like, super useful? That's why. You know, I've had, going back to the Ken Levine issue, I have had conversations with him, and yet I have never thought to ask what his last name is, or how it's pronounced. Derp. Most of the people I have heard speak to him call him Ken Levine. So I think I'm going to stick with that pronunciation. But I could be getting it wrong, because again, I have heard that same last name pronounced several different ways. So, interestingly, last time I played through Thief 3, I was at the same time watching an episode of the show Northern Exposure, I believe it was, where the same last name was mentioned, just in passing. One of the characters, he's a doctor, he's Jewish, he was trying to find more Jewish people around the area, because there was some reason, something about, felt kind of lonely being the only Jewish man in that region of Alaska. And he was going through the phone book looking for Jewish names, and that was one of them. But, yeah. Is that a dead pixel? No, it can't be. It's a brand new monitor. No, it's just something stuck to it. I'm gonna wait for this guard, because I have had so many problems with this guard. It would probably be funnier if I did now, but I think I'm going to wait for, you know, hazardous guard encounters in later missions, because in this mission, there's just no excuse. The guard AI in this mission is, like, the worst in the game. Their patrol paths are super simple and really easy to memorize. Like, there's no excuse to do poorly in this mission. Also, I just love how this part of the manor just kind of opens up to the outside. It's not like a door or anything, it just opens up. That's just how medieval this game is. And yet, there is electric lighting. This game is very... It's kind of a medieval steampunk. I know steampunk is usually more Victorian, but it is very medieval / steampunk. There's nothing valuable back here, is there? Okay, so there's another guard. Does not patrol as close. Still patrols too close for my taste. So we will deal with it. That was a terrible Finnish accent. That sounded more like a terrible Russian accent. But again, references. Reference to Hydraulic Press channel there. Man, I should be more original. But I don't know. It's hard. Originality is hard, man.
Someone behind me?
What isn't hard is blackjacking a guard. I probably didn't even need to put out that last torch. That was a waste. But hey, this room is about as dark as it's going to get. This is the pool. I don't remember. Where is the main dining area? There are, like, dining areas in all these little towers. But I can't imagine that... You know, I think it's upstairs. Which I will find eventually. Is there more here? I know there's, like, all kinds of stuff here. This is the servants' dining area. Back to the kitchen. There's like a little storage room here. There might be something valuable here, but I doubt it. It's just, you know, basic storage, pots, pans, bowls, that kind of thing. Empty bottles. Way too many crates. And then back to this room. So, steal some bread and some apples. I'm literally stealing the food off of his table. But he's a horrible person, so I don't feel terrible about that. Ooh. Fine, fine wine. I like it. So, let's see, is this... I think this is the way upstairs on this side. Bread and cheese. Gotta have bread and cheese. Was the light gem explained in the tutorial? It's the little thing at the bottom of the screen that tells you how visible you are. Dark is good, light is bad. The little thing next to it, if it's yellow, you're in danger. If it's red, you're just screwed. Presuming anyone, you know, comes and finds you. Now, I seem to remember there was a guard who patrolled around here. That was an interesting sound. Not in-game, in real life. Not the guard, the sound. Anyway, there was a guard, I seem to recall, who patrolled around here somewhere. It might have been on the other side, though. Well, I don't think he's here, so it must be the other side. So I'm going to make my way over there, because, again, knocking out guards just out of spite is kind of my thing at this point. Put out that fire. I would normally say it's a waste of a water arrow, but I have 22 of them. Here's one of those weird collector things, which is deafeningly loud when I stand there. I love the steampunk elements of this game. Like, it's very, very medieval otherwise, but it's got, like, very few, but very... Well, no, it's just got a ton of steampunk elements thrown in. I was gonna say very few, but very prevalent, or... I don't know. Essentially, not very many different steampunk elements, just the same ones reused over and over, but it really doesn't. And it gets even more steampunk in the second. It gets quite Victorian, and, in terms of architecture and design, and
Hello?
gets a lot
Show
more
yourself.
steampunk in terms of technology. There are steam-powered robots in the sequel. I know that's kind of a spoiler, but it's something I really wanted to, Yeah, take that. You archer guard guy who literally at no point in this mission would have ever gotten anywhere near being in my way at any point. Like, there was no reason for that, but I did it anyway. Why? Because I'm kind of an asshole. Not gonna mince words here. I am kind of an asshole. But I don't even need to waste, or do I? I think he has peripheral vision. The guards in this game have that, so...
Who's there?
That was the biggest waste ever. I thought maybe leaning around the corner might... Are you kidding? Okay, so I just wasted, what, 3 water arrows there? That was bad. This is also bad, but not as bad as, you know, if I had my sword drawn. I could just run him through, but I'd rather just give him a mild concussion. And he would probably be fired. I mean, you're a rich noble. You have a bunch of guards that are armed to the teeth, guarding all of your possessions, and yet you still somehow end up getting robbed blind. If it were me, everyone would be fired. The guards, the servants. Like, how do you let this happen? Like, you're heavily armed guards guarding every single entrance and exit, specifically positioned in places where there are valuables. And yet still, somehow, when I come home, all of my stuff is just gone. Like, it's the quickest way to get fired. Kind of feel bad for all of these guys.
Who's there? Intruder!
Oh shit.
Help! Help!
Also, there's a drain fly on my screen. That raises several questions. Oh, it flew away. God, I hate tile. So loud. This is not a waste. Now I have no idea where I am. Okay. Good old guard hijinks. Running away from guards. Man, I hope he didn't go alert someone. I hope he's not bringing backup. That would suck. I mean, this is normal difficulty, so I doubt it. I'm pretty sure he's just going to try and find me. But, man, it would suck if he ran and got help. Where did he go? He was following me. Where did he go? That drainfly's still hanging around. This is why filming in an unfinished basement is not great. Where did he go? Sooner or later, he's going to return to his normal patrol path, so I'd better be careful, but... Wait, I hear something. I hope he didn't hear that. I'm just going to hide behind this table. I am a chair. Do not pay me any mind. I am merely a normal piece of furniture that is normal to see around a table. I am not a thief. I am not the thief that you just chased and could not find. I am a chair. And you are an idiot if you believe that. Just gonna lay him down there on the soft carpet. I cannot see a thing in this room. It is so dark. That's better. Okay, so he's taken care of, so I can roam around this half of the upstairs pretty freely. Man, I seem to remember one of these tables having something valuable on it, but I guess I was mistaken. There are valuables in the other half of the upstairs, though. I'll get there eventually. But, yeah, this is the diving platform. I would not want to dive into that pool from this distance. That pool is not nearly deep enough. Like, you hit the bottom. This is terrible. Also, there's a pretty decently sized gap between the edge of this platform and the edge of the pool. Like, I am pretty sure you would just fall to your death. And imagine how wet this smooth stone would be after several jumps. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if sometime shortly after this mission, Lord Bafford accidentally kills himself trying to dive into the pool. That's just not safe. There is nothing about that pool that is safe. It's... how? Why would you... It's just so unsafe. Anyway, I was gonna say I don't have lockpicks, so I can't pick the lock, but the lock is not locked. The door is open. Anything here? There's a ring. If you're not very careful, you'll miss that. It's so tiny. Because, you know, it's a ring. It's a nice painting. Hammerites. We'll learn about them a little later. Now, there is definitely a guard patrolling this, because this is where the scepter is. I don't hear anyone yet, though, so he's probably down at that end. I'm gonna wait for him. He's coming. But I hate this guard. He is one of the 2 smartest guards in this mission. Which isn't saying much, because the guards in this mission are dumber than a box of rocks. But relative to the other guards in the mission, this guy's a genius. This guy and the guy guarding the scepter. So... can I mid-air the dude? I'm gonna have to if I don't want to step on this tile. Mid-aired. That's gonna show up on my stats at the end of the mission. Anyway, I have a key that I will probably not use. Actually, I think I'm going to use it, because I'm going to knock out the other guard going in just through the door, but there's something cool I want to show you. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Well... no, I'll show you the cool thing. I won't use this key. So this is the bathroom, or... well, I mean, it's where he bathes, so... I guess it is the bathroom. I seem to recall there are water arrows somewhere in here, but I could be wrong. I don't see any, so... regardless, I have plenty. Ooh. You know, I think I know exactly where this goes, too. This is probably the staircase down to that basement room that we saw earlier that we couldn't get into. So, I'm gonna follow it. lips are very dry today. Should get some chapstick or something. So, that is... Yes, the second, because the third is on the guard in the room where the scepter is. So, 2 keys into that room, a bottle of fine wine, and a ledger detailing some shady deals. Not gonna read through all of this, I'm just gonna kind of leaf through the pages, but needless to say, a lot of this is illegal. Probably why it's all in a hidden room in the basement. So, yeah, that's what this room is. Now, I should have pretty much all of the loot in the mission. Oh, there's one more room I haven't been in yet. One more room with loot in it, I should say. I think the other one is, like, the final room where the thing I'm here for is. Is it just me, or does this particular manor have kind of a Middle Eastern feel? That's what I always thought. The arches kind of give it that, and the sandstone pattern on the carpets. I always got the feeling that Lord Bafford was, like, at least kind of, like, from the Middle East, or this game's equivalent of the Middle East. Just because of, like, the architecture and design of this manor. The use of purple and gold really helps that too, but... a crown. Several stacks of silver shillings. There's a tongue twister for you. Another key to the same room. Bottle of cheap wine. You know what we do with cheap wine?
What is that?
I think I alerted the guard. I can't throw it out the window. I want to get rid of it. I hate this wine. Why? There is nowhere to hide in here as well, because I can't turn off the electric lights. Can I climb the wardrobe? No. I have made a huge mistake. I think he's in the hallway. I immediately regret this decision. Now I really want to get rid of this wine. But I don't think I can. It will not let me throw it out the window. If this game ever gets remade, which I don't think it will, I mean, it is a timeless classic, but I don't think it's going to get remade. At least not by anyone other than fans. But, if it gets remade, players should be able to throw the wine out the window. I demand the ability to throw the wine. Did I go into the dining room?
I wonder if he reads them or if it's just for show.
Anyway, let me just, Ooh, that's valuable. Probably not going to read this one aloud either. Actually, I might. Well, no. Because if I did, it would be in the thief pagan voice, which I've always hated. They all sound like Gollum. It's kind of weird, because, like, reading that, some of the way he writes makes me think kind of a, I don't know, like a Cornish farmer type voice, stereotypical Cornish farmer voice, if you know what that sounds like. But, he also writes in a way that would indicate the way the pagans speak in the Thief games, and, like, sometimes I would imagine some of the things he wrote in, like, the Skyrim Argonian voice. It's weird. Anyway.
Lord Bafford, a recent delivery of antiques from Bone contains several items which we felt might be of interest to you. Descriptions follow, but you are welcome to drop by our shop to examine them or our other goods in person. An ornamental scepter, 3 feet in length. The body of the stave is weirwood, carved in the star and dot pattern. 6 inches of the ferrule and 5 inches of the grip are bound with burnished copper, overlaid by an ink and glaze I don't know how to even begin to pronounce that. Varnish. The crowning feature of this magnificent piece, however, is the 6-inch teardrop-cut cloudstone, one of the finest of its type we have seen. Also, a treasure box of 2 feet by 3 feet of silver birchwood. The lid is inlaid of pearline and onyx in a maze pattern carved into the wood. The feet are lion paws, each clutching a crystal globe. The inside of the box contains 2 principal compartments, one with glass shelves and one without. Beneath the compartments is a lockable 2-inch false bottom for your most valuable treasures. Grimworth and DePerrin, fine antiquities, and precious relics. My question is, why is that in the form of, like, a book? That's like a note. That's worth, like, a note. And it was written specifically to Lord Bafford, so it's not like a catalog or anything. Waste of paper! Wasteful. Wasteful. Anyway, did I come in here? This is the dining room. This is where he eats. The servants have to go all the way from the kitchens to here. And cheap wine. I wish I could throw it out the window. It's misleading. You'd think you could take it, you know, it's worth something. No, you pick it up, the only thing it's good for is throwing to distract guards. Anyway, enough of my frustration with cheap, terrible wine. I don't even drink wine most of the time. Time to confusel and bamboozle a guard. First things first. Snuff out the torches.
Odd noise.
It would just be easiest to go in from the other side to get the rest of them. And I'm just gonna lock myself in. There's no way I can see that going wrong. Locking myself in a room with an armed guard, right? There's nothing that could go wrong. No possible problems could arise from that simple action. And you know what? I don't need these keys either. So I'll just leave them there. Nothing could possibly go wrong. And nothing did. I specifically, like, just to show you how bad the guard AI in this level is, I specifically set that up to be the single most massive failure ever. I specifically set it up so that something would definitely go wrong. And it still didn't. And also, I just remembered I was going to show you that cool thing instead of coming in this way. Whoops! Let me go do that. It's kind of useless now. I've already done the thing. But hey, it's a cool alternate way to get into that room in case you don't want to just waltz in the front door. So he's got this upstairs courtyard. It's really cool. Kind of a nice little garden here with balconies that overlook the pool and balconies that overlook the garden. And I'm just gonna get out my sword and kind of at random take out a little aggression on one of these tapestries. And what do you know? There's a secret passage, so I'm gonna go through it. In the original version of the game, if you were to jump here, you would be able to see the whole map because there was no ceiling here. They fixed that, but yes. Anyway, continuing on. If I were to follow this passage, where would it take me? I think you already know, because I'm really overplaying this and I've already been in this room. But yes, this is where it takes you. It takes you up into the rafters right above this room. One thing you gotta be careful of, though, is it's a really long fall, and if you're not careful, you will fall and possibly injure or kill yourself. So... yeah. He's still unconscious. I didn't kill him by dropping on him, did I?
It's a throne room. How pretentious can you get?
Anyway, this is the last room of the mission. The throne room. Because why not? When you're rich, you gotta have a throne. Yeah, Lord Baffert is a pretentious dickwad. But anyway, that aside, there's the scepter. Beautiful, beautiful scepter. And I'm gonna take it.
Here we go.
Now, on harder difficulties, you would have to then find your way back out, and you would not be allowed to knock any of the guards unconscious. So, let's see how we did. Both missions accomplished with no trouble. Stats. Let's look at this. Oh, it doesn't count mid-air knockouts. Or that wasn't a proper mid-air knockout. One of the two. So, 46 minutes total. Found... oh, I missed some loot? Where? Anyway, it's not enough to matter. 3 out of 3 pockets picked. 11 knockouts. Took 2 damage from that fall. Killed no one. So, that was Lord Baffert's Manor, the first heist in Thief the Dark Project, and in this case, Thief Gold, which is the special edition of Thief the Dark Project. So that's the episode, and I will see you in the next one. This has been Fletcher Fox, signing off. Until next time. Hey everyone, this has been Fletcher Fox. If you liked the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want notifications every time I post a new video, click the little bell next to the subscribe button. Be sure to check out the rest of my channel for more Let's Play videos, and I will see you next time.